Kevin Stefanski did is actually par for the course. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear it. I know a lot of fans don't know about it, but I'm going to take y'all inside
The big news today was the fact that Shedeur Sanders suffered an oblique injury in early drills. He was shut down for the rest.
Proved to me that you can do it. But he proved in one game that he could do it, so much so that they now have to give him the chance.
I need everybody to stop what they're doing for a second and really hear me out. Because what happened in Cleveland today, it's not just a little injury update. It's not just one of those, oh, we'll see how he feels tomorrow kind of stories. No, this feels like one of those moments where, years from now, we're gonna look back and say, that's when the tide turned. Because today, in the middle of what's already been one of the most bizarre quarterback competitions I've seen in a long time, Shedeur Sanders, the rookie who's been turning heads, winning over fans, and flat out outperforming the guys ahead of him, suddenly comes out of practice with what they're calling an oblique injury. Now, let me paint the scene for you. Early drills, nothing out of the ordinary. He's out there warming up, making throws, moving well, and then he's done. Shut down, doesn't come back in. The whispers start. The media. Tweets start flying. And before you know it, the official word from the Browns is oblique injury. Status for Saturday's preseason game, uncertain. Uncertain. That's a loaded word in the NFL. Because in August, when a player's fighting for a roster spot, when every snap matters, uncertain is just as dangerous as out. But here's where things start to feel off. All right, I'm launching a giveaway like never before. Think you know which Browns quarterback will start the first official game? Drop your prediction in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because 5 lucky winners will score a free game jersey. The more videos you comment on, the better your chances. Now let's continue the video from where we left off. Sources close to Sanders, and I mean people who know exactly what he's dealing with, are saying it's not a big deal. Just soreness, something he's had before. He's played through it. He even played through it flawlessly in his last game. So if he can handle it, and he's handled it before, why the sudden shutdown? Why now? That's when the pieces started clicking for me. This isn't just about a muscle. This is about momentum, because Sanders has been building it. Every time he steps on that field, he chips away at the argument that he's not ready. And Kevin Stefanski, I think he sees it. I think he knows what's happening. And I think he's not ready to hand over the keys to this kid just yet. A few days ago, Stefanski told the media that he wasn't looking at Sanders as the starter right now. He said he's focused on developing everyone in the quarterback room. Sounds fair on the surface. It's the kind of thing coaches say all the time. But then the depth chart comes out, and that's when this went from confusing to downright bizarre. Sanders, after putting together what I would argue was the single best quarterback performance of the entire preseason, lands at 4th. On the depth chart, 4th. And let me remind you, 2 of the guys ahead of him, Dillon and Pickett, are injured. They're literally not available. And yet, Sanders still can't climb past them. Make it make sense. And it doesn't stop there. Because right when fans started asking questions, right when analysts like Dan Orlovsky started going on national TV saying this kid needs first-team reps, the Browns dropped the next twist. He might not play in the second preseason game either. Now we've gone from he's pushing for the job to, well, he's injured in record time. You see what's happening here, right? This isn't about protecting his health. This is about controlling the narrative. This is about cooling down the hype before it catches fire. Because if Sanders plays again, and he lights it up again, that QB controversy becomes too loud to ignore. And I think the Browns would rather keep this whole thing neat, tidy, and on their schedule. Even Dan Orlovsky didn't hold back. He called Stefanski out, saying, "If you're not giving Sanders a chance, show us why. Show us the evidence." And he's right. It's because the evidence we do have says Sanders deserves to be in the mix right now. His poise, his accuracy, his decision-making. Everything we've seen screams that he belongs in the conversation for QB1. And here's what's got me fired up as a coach. Your job isn't just to point out what a player can't do. It's to find out what they can do and put them in a position to succeed. And Sanders, he's shown a whole lot of can. Yet somehow, it's like the organization is working overtime to make sure the spotlight doesn't stay on him too long. I'll tell you what this feels like. It feels like a chess game. Sanders makes a move. The fans respond. The analysts respond. And then the team makes a counter move to stall the momentum. Injury reports, depth chart decisions, public statements that sound good but don't match reality. And that's why I don't think we're looking at just an injury here. I think we're looking at a calculated decision. I think the Browns are trying to control the narrative before it controls them. So here's the question we're all left with. Is this just smart strategy from a coach who's playing the long game? Or is this a case of a young quarterback earning something he's not being allowed to have? Because, if you ask me, the timing's too perfect, the injury's too convenient. And the way this whole thing has unfolded, it's just too suspicious to chalk up to bad luck. And trust me, this story's not over. I've been saying it from the start. If Shedeur Sanders went out there and played a certain way, then yeah, the path forward would be obvious. And you know what? He's done exactly that. He's earned those first-team reps. He's earned the chance to run with the starters this week. I always put it this way: prove to me you can't do it. That's all I ask from any player. Go out there and prove you can't handle the job. And, so far, Shedeur hasn't come close to proving that. If anything, he's proving the opposite. But here's where things get frustrating. Instead of addressing the obvious, instead of responding to what analysts like Dan Orlovsky are pointing out, Kevin Stefanski drops this little bombshell. Oh, Shedeur's got an injury. He's not going to play in the next game. I'm sitting here thinking, really? Right now? After all this momentum, after all the noise from fans calling for him to get a shot, this is when we hear about an injury. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm cynical, but the timing feels way too convenient. And I'm not the only one thinking that. Fans were fired up to see more of Sanders, to see him build on those flashes of brilliance he's shown already. They wanted to see him push the Browns' quarterback room and force the conversation. Instead, he's back on the sideline, and you can feel the frustration boiling over. Fans are already starting to call for the Browns to just trade him, to send him somewhere he'll actually get a fair shot. And then comes the kicker. According to Mick Wright, Shedeur himself has reportedly told the team he'd consider leaving if they keep treating him like this. Let that sink in for a second. This isn't just noise from the fan base anymore. This is coming from the player. The situation has gotten tense, real tense. And here's the thing. Wright brought up an idea that actually makes sense. Send him to the Rams. Think about it. Over there, he's not going to have the constant starter controversy hanging over his head. Stafford's there. The media heat isn't as insane, and he can just develop. And if this happens to be Stafford's last year, the Rams might just get their next QB without spending huge draft capital. Meanwhile, the Browns, they spent a 5th-round pick on him. If they flip him for a 4th, they come out ahead on paper. But the problem is, this isn't just about numbers, it's about trust. And right now, Stefanski's handling of this whole thing has raised a lot of eyebrows inside that building. The whispers are getting louder. The belief that Shedeur could be on his way out is growing. Only one thing's holding that back right now. The owner has seen the fan support. He's heard the chants. He's read the headlines. And by all accounts, he's backing Sanders. That puts Stefanski in a brutal position, because now it's not just the fans and the media questioning him. It's the owner too. The heat is on, and it's only getting hotter. So here's where we stand. Shedeur Sanders, despite delivering one of the best quarterback performances of the preseason, is being kept off the field. We've got a coach saying it's because of an injury. We've got fans calling for trades, analysts questioning the decision-making, and a young quarterback who might already be looking for the exit door. I'll be honest with you, I don't. know if this is just stubborn coaching, genuine concern about an injury, or something deeper brewing behind the scenes. But I do know this: the way the Browns handled this situation will echo for a long time. It'll say everything about whether this team is serious about developing young talent, or if they're stuck in old developing habits that keep them from taking risks. So, let's talk about it. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is being held back on purpose? Is this injury just a smokescreen? And if the trade talk is real, would the Rams really be the best fit? Or is there a better move out there? Happens next. We're about to find out just how much the Browns really believe in their young quarterback.